Oberstein. She's managing attorney at NPZ's Fort Lauderdale office. Hello, Samantha.
Hi, Vijaya. Thanks for having us.
Super having you on. So, Samantha, there's a question from one of our listeners, and they ask, my husband and I got divorced while our asylum case is pending. What are my options, and can I still apply for a work permit?
It's a good question, and it's a question we've been getting a lot lately because the asylum cases are taking so long to process. Right now, I've heard delays of more than 6-7 years in some places. So it's a long time, and obviously in that time, life happens and things change, and unfortunately, people do get divorced. And the thing to keep in mind is that once you are divorced, you're no longer married, obviously, and therefore, if you are the derivative spouse, you're no longer part of that asylum application. Chances are immigration won't know about that, though, until you notify them or until you have an interview. But from the second you're divorced, that eligibility is gone. So at that point, the question becomes, what are your options? Now, if you possibly qualify for something on your own, that's something that we can explore. Maybe you have your own asylum case. Maybe you're afraid to go back to your home country as well, and you have your own arguments to make. That's fine. But if nothing is done, if you do absolutely nothing at the time of the interview, when immigration realizes this, you'll likely be referred to immigration court if you don't have any underlying status. So it's really important if you are going to get divorced to try and plan ahead. And the question about the work permit is one that I've been getting pretty frequently lately. Technically, once you are divorced, once you're no longer married, you're not eligible under asylum. Therefore, you're not eligible for a work permit through asylum. And on the work permit application, on the I-765, it's going to ask you your marital status. And if you say that you're married, but you're not married, and it's just to get your work permit, that could potentially cause a fraud issue down the road. So number one, you wouldn't be eligible for that work permit. But I'm more concerned about the individuals who may file it because immigration doesn't know. And say that they're married. And that, I think, could be a bigger issue down the road. And I understand the need for a work permit, but I think that it's important for people to understand that the fraud issue could be a much bigger problem.
Honesty is the best policy always.
Exactly. So overall, what I want to let this listener and other listeners know is that if you are considering divorce, it's something that you should speak with an attorney about to see how it might impact any pending case that you have, not necessarily just asylum. So that you can plan ahead, because you don't want to be surprised if something negative were to happen.
Yeah. Well put. And of course, I love the way you said life happens, but then the NPZ Law Group is there to handhold you through all of the ups and downs immigration-wise, right?
Absolutely.
So, thank you for that, Samantha. Appreciate it. And so folks, don't hesitate to reach out to the NPZ Law Group. They're at